Hi! Whoop.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and it is finally the spooky time. We are just coming out, guns blazing, day one. I got Alfonso here, he's now out of the closet and ready to get the spooks. I got my witch's hat and it's all ready to go. I'm eating my hair in the process, stop that. But yes, it is spooky time, it is the good time, it is the best time of the year. Now I would say we're going to start off with spooky right out the gate, but it's going to be more like spooky cute for day one. We'll ramp our way up through the rest of the month. I have a series of flying fox fruit bats, and I look over there because they're all over there. I really wanted to make a stereotypical kind of cutesy bat, like a little vampire bat. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you happen to like my crazy self and you happen to like the end result, maybe if you feel so inclined to subscribe or drop a comment or whatever your heart desires. But okay, let's get started. One of the very first things that I ended up 3D sculpting when I first started to learn how to 3D sculpt was a adorable little bat. I wanted something different from the flying fox fruit bats that I already have. I wanted to make something that was stereotypical bat and really cute, and so this is what I came up with. I also made this guy in the hopes that one day maybe I would make my own DIY kits. So if that's something that you're interested, let me know in the comments, because I know some of you guys have been asking to make art dolls but you don't know what to do, and so I think offering kits would be something really cool for you guys, so let me know. But yeah, with all that said, let's go and 3D print this little baby bat.
Into the back we go.
And here is the finished result from printing. I swear it is such a cool feeling knowing that you made something digitally and you can still hold it physically in your hand in the real space. It's just very, very cool. And with that, it's now time for the shortest ASMR armature time, or ASMR armature time. I'm stupid. Okay. It's now time to attach the armature. Now, I wasn't smart enough to remember to 3D sculpt a hole, so I had to Dremel one, but just look at that perfect symmetrical circle. To actually attach the armature, I just fill the hole with hot glue and insert the armature into the back of the head. Now, sometimes ball and sockets don't work for certain things, like for instance, small adorable little bat wings. It makes more sense to use wire in that case. And I'm kind of out of practice, so I was struggling a little bit because wire can be a little bit unwieldy, but I just wanted to get the basic structure of the wing down. It didn't need to look pretty, I just wanted to make sure I had the idea down so I can adjust it all later on. And now it's time for something that's also rarely on my channel, and that is pattern making. If I end up liking something enough and I want to make multiples of for selling, I will go and make a pattern. And I just start off with tracing the armature out and then sketching out a design. I do this because streamlining the process makes it as quick as possible to make as multiple as possible, and it also keeps them all as similar and as equal as possible so that they don't look too different from each other. because if they're all supposed to be one little baby poof bats, you kind of all want them to look like all baby little poof bats. So that is the idea here. I just wanted to make something very simple, very easy, and I wanted it to be as poofy as possible. And the end result, I think, matches that. And like I mentioned, since this is a pattern, I'll also be able to tweak it and do different things if I wanted to make different variants of, say, in this case, a little poof bat, which I will be showing you, but it's as simple as just tracing it out, pinning the two pieces of fabrics together, and then to get on with sewing, which is my enemy. But, you know, with a sewing machine, it makes it a little bit easier. Once all the little bodies are done, I will trim down the seam allowance, flip them back to the right side out, struggle to fit the armature back inside, and then stuff them with polyfill so that they're nice and poofy and fluffy. Now, I do want to keep them as fluffy as possible, but I want to have it tapered a little bit down to his little feeties. And so I'm going to be using my pet shaver just to trim down a little bit so it has that nice tapered effect. I'll then go over it with some thinning shears just to really refine it, even though I still don't know how to use these things, and just to make sure that everything is as seamless and flows as nice as possible. To make the little feeties and then like the little wing finger, I'm going to be using Instamorph. And Instamorph is just these little plastic pellets that when you put in very hot water, they will melt and become moldable. And once they cool off, they become a hard plastic again. And they're just perfect for simple things like this. And while I'm molding the little feet, I like to curve it over my finger just to make sure that they'll be able to hang on your finger, because one, that's absolutely adorable, and then two, they'll be able to hang on like anything that has like a similar thickness. So absolutely cute, and I absolutely love doing it, because who doesn't want to have a little bat hanging from their little finger? I mean, come on.
Alfonso here, just popping in to tell you that you are good enough for whatever kind of projects or things you'd like to do. If you can dream it, you can do it. Also, drink water so you don't become a skellybob like me and become too dehydrated. Okay, we love you. Good day. Let's get back to the project.
Once that was done, it was time to paint the little faces. Now I'm going to be doing the same thing I do with my fox bats, where I partially fur the faces, but I still need to go in and paint the little faces because one, the fur isn't going to cover everything, so they kind of need to be painted. And two, even where the fur is going to be covered, I want to paint just to make sure that if I miss any spots, instead of gray printed resin you'll see the paint underneath, which will make it a little nicer and blend a little better and trick your eye. The black bat and the fox themed bat all get the same painting treatment where they're just based in black, but the white one is going to be based in pink and white, since it's essentially an albino is the look that I go for when I make the little white ones. So everything is just a little bit different, where I will blend the white into the pink just to give it a nice like little skin undertone. I just think it's a really nice detail, and you can see how it looks where if I just left it solid and they weren't blended between each other versus when they are blended between each other. I don't know if that made sense. I'm kind of rambly this video, but you know, it's fine. It looks cute. I also gave it nice metallic burgundy red eyes because again, it's an albino and it looks really cute. And I want to boop to snoot. Boop. Also can't forget the little wing fingers and feeties. They all get based in their respective colors. To give life to the eyes and make them super glossy, I go over them with a little bit of UV resin, and it just makes them pop and look so good. And then it's time to glue tiny fur fibers all over the face, everywhere except the muzzle and the ears. That's usually how I do it with the bats. And then once it's all furred, I'll go over it again with the thinning shears that, spoiler alert, I still don't know how to use. And I'll just trim it so it looks nice and smooth and even and realistic. final steps are going to be the bat wings. For the dark bats, I like using this really nice faux leather. It just gives a really leathery look to the bat wings. It just looks really good. And what I'll do is I'll angle the wings as far out as I want them to be able to be posed, and then I'll trace that rough shape onto the fabric and cut it out, and I'll just fold over the very tops of the fabric over the wire and sew that back and forth because I want the wire to be encased in it. Since there won't be much force put on the other fingers in the wing, I'll essentially just put a little bead of glue over the wire and I'll pinch the fabric over the wire and secure it that way. I then go in and trim any excess glue, but once I do the airbrushing, it'll be completely hidden. You won't be able to really see it. I'll also then trim down the fabric so that you get the nice wing shape, and then to attach it to the body, I'll just sew the edges down with a whip stitch so it's nice and flexible still. And here is a set of wings all nice and sewn up. And now all we need to do is airbrush so we get rid of all the Sharpie marks and the glue lines. And you can really see the difference here of what the airbrushing can do. It's brilliant. And I do just use my airbrush as like accent shading and to disguise things. So I really just go over the outline of the wing. I won't do anything too fancy with them. Since I had the airbrush out, I just went over the fox bat's fur just to blend that orangey fur into the black a little bit better so it wasn't such a harsh line. The white wing is pretty much identical to the other ones. I'll just be using a pinky flesh tone so that it matches the albino aesthetic that I'm going for. And with the final sprays of the airbrush, these little beans are all done, and we can take a look at the final montage. I'm gonna try to smudge it away.
Oh, okay, never mind. No, I'm not.
Secrets, how to make a good smoothie.
I worked at Jamba Juice.
Tell them. Oh, you couldn't even see me threatening you with this.